this is a Canadian premiere of my new film, Ola SVENSSON Superstar. And it's about a Swedish guy called Ola Salo, who is a rock star in Sweden. Back home in Sweden, everybody thinks they know him. That's why it's so exciting to show this film for you, because I assume most of you haven't got a clue about Ola Salo. I think the Canadian audience will fall in love with him.
My film's a portrait about a woman who contracted HIV in the porn industry. I followed her for 5 years after she contracted HIV.
It's the second time I see the film, and both times I was moved, and the last scene this time, like, I cried. I think a lot of people feel alone and ashamed, and I don't think they should. So basically I'm here to say, like, you could live with HIV and not be ashamed.
It's a great film, one of the best films in the festival, and the fact that it was a 5-year process, and it really shows the rawness of what documentary should really be.
It's called The Future Is Now, and it's about finding optimism despite all evidence to the contrary. We tried to set up our interviews so that they seemed more like conversations. We did that by giving each of our experts a couple of questions to ask our main character. Gary's background is in feature filmmaking and my background is in journalism, so we're sort of bringing a little bit of each of us to each project, and it ends up being a bit of a mashup just because our backgrounds are so different.
The film's about a chimpanzee that I met in 1977, and he learned sign language. The audience, I think, is going to find a lot of things interesting about this film. It's obviously a lot of human dynamics, a lot of science. There are a lot of philosophical questions about language, about who we are, what we are, how we got to be what we are.
Limelight is about a small-town boy from Cornwall, Ontario, Peter Gatien, who went on to build the single largest nightclub empire in the history of New York City.
The micro was the story of Peter Gatien, and the macro was the story of New York City, and how the Giuliani revolution really completely changed New York from a crime-ridden cesspool to a family-friendly tourist destination. And Peter seems to emerge as kind of a collateral damage in this culture war.
I almost wanted to kind of party with everybody at Limelight. I felt like, I was actually in the club, so it was a really neat experience and I really enjoyed it.